Look, alright, so I know I announced it like Brimstone, but come on, I have an accent and people are going to be still hating me no matter what on the internet. But I'm going to give you some advanced tips for defending your base. So, I'm right now doing a little setup called orb stacking. So I stack about 10 to 15 orbs while I'm throwing at a certain spot before I light it, right? So there's a few ways to actually get around this while you're seeing this. You don't really need to automatically repair as long as you are monitoring the amount of damage. So the first thing that you have set up is that you make sure that you're going to be seeing the amount of damage that the raiders are going to be coming from. And it's a lot easier with T3 materials, but you're always going to need the T3 mats in order to repair it. And that is one of the most essential things. It's to have T3 mats to repair your actual structure. The other way that you can do it, when you're on the other side, you can actually see that a little bit of fire sticking out on the other side. So I'm going to experiment with you guys, and I'm going to show you how to put out fires, including explosive fires, from the other side of your base. Now, if you throw one orb, look, you still have fire, so the person can just relight it with tar orbs. So you want to make sure that you have at least a few stacks of water orbs on the other side while you're getting everything situated and everything dissolved in this situation. Again, every time you reset your tar, it's like 20 seconds, so you want to just throw these as quick as possible. Get that fire out, and you're done. Now that person has to restart that whole stack again, waste a fire orb, and get everything else done. Right now, fire orbs are not really expensive. If you watch my Swamgo video to actually where everything would be kind of located, it would be there. Iguanas are the best thing to farm for fire orbs. So, when you're going back and forth and you're seeing all this kind of setup, there's also when you can repair on that one side. Repairing only works through 1 to 2 layers. It doesn't really help you for the most effectiveness when you're going around hitting stuff and getting everything else done because of one big major feature. You have to still go through the layers. Now, the other easier thing, which you can do, which I'm going to demonstrate here, is to literally just spam, and this is why it's completely OP right now, this circumstance, if anybody's going to be raiding you. This has been a problem since early access, where you can just literally spam through the wall to about 4 to 5 layers, sometimes even more depending on your latency on your server. One of the biggest problems that you can possibly have, and then that means you have to have the resources to make it, to instant put it on the other side, and then you have another few layers of defense just automatically there, which now the raiders have to expect it, as well as you can seal them up on other sides of materials, and you'll be screwed to actually raid. You lose all your raid materials because you're inside, so you're going to literally have to despawn those materials, which again is completely insane. I honestly don't agree with this, but at the same time, it's meta. This is the current meta, and we have to watch out for everything when we are doing base defense. Again, I'm giving you the best tutorials right now in this current moment. So, when you're doing this and you're trying to get through stacks, you're going to be very careful of how you stack versus what you stack, especially with going with bombs. Bombs with a treb are very effective because they not only do AoE damage upon impact, but then you can also take damage on the inside as well. So when you're seeing splash damage from there, you can actually seal it up just like any other way. No matter what, it should be if the building structure is taking damage that they should not be able to build. But at this current state of the game, you can build, and it's been like that ever since early access. It's been a very hard thing to control, and it's one of the bigger things where you actually need to watch out for. So when you're going and you're using your treb or using anything else, there's 2 of the easiest ways to defend against a treb. Hit it with a repair hammer to repair your structure, or just put a T1, T2 wall up there to make sure so that you can actively defend it. Of course, you can't help with offline raiding because it becomes almost near impossible for online raiding, especially if you have the materials inside your base. If you have the materials, even if you just have stone and wood, it makes it almost impossible for a Trev raid, even with demon fire barrages, because of how effective you can be. Now, right now, I'm doing T1, setting off these explosions, getting everything else done. Boom. Let's see what's going to happen once I set this off. This is T1 foundations with the bomb to protect T3 in every single regard. So it almost takes out a full set of T1. What's easier to replace? T1 foundations on one side when you're being actively raided, or T3? You be the judge, especially on these 1x official servers. I would rather be able to just farm up for a second, get enough materials so I can actively seal up my base so that they have to blow their way out and blow their way back in. Because why? Now that I know that they're wasting resources and they're going to be extremely disgruntled. Now, on most private servers, they don't allow this kind of stuff. But at the same time, it depends on how you play, especially if you play on officials. If you play on an official, this is what you're going to have to deal with. Even if you're on a pillar base, they could just outbuild you and just keep you out of the loop. And then it's all gone. What are you going to do then? So I only say that so that I can get you guys to be very well educated about it and everything else when it comes to base defense, especially active online base defense. One of the biggest strategies, number one, put as much stuff in front of the raiders as possible. Number two, repair. Number three, go on the offensive. If you have those three things, you're set up. Thank you guys, and have a good one. Like and subscribe.
I just like the sound.